As promised, IGN has released a video talking with the developers about the skill trees, and we got to see the full skill tree for Red Hood and a lot of his momentum abilities. More on that later. I'm going to do a full breakdown of the tree in the later part of this video, so make sure you check the timestamp in the description if you want to just jump to that straight away. But what I'm going to do is explain what the skill trees are, go through all of the information that we learned from the video, and also explain it for you guys so you understand what's going on. A lot to see here, and I'm really excited to talk about it all. If you are new here, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, and come and check out all the links in the description for my Twitch and Discord and all that like to continue the conversation. But let's jump into the skill trees. Each hero will have 4 skill trees to go down. You'll have, 3 that are specific to that hero, and then you will have the knighthood tree, which is unlocked later on. I'll talk about that in just a moment. There is a number of nodes in each tree. It looks like there's going to be 7 in each tree. That might change. There might be different on different characters. But, like, for example, if we talk about Red Hood, he has the Marksman, which we've already seen a bit of gameplay for, the Brawler, and also Vengeance. And obviously, the 4th one would be Knighthood. Each skill tree plays into builds and a variety of gameplay with each hero, so they encourage you to experiment. We got a brief look at the loadout screen as well, which will show off certain stats such as power, health, defense, melee, and its critical stat, range and its critical stat. Alongside this, we also got to see the power of the suits, your melee and range weapons power, basically all of your gear and what the levels they are of them. You may be wondering how you unlock all of these skills and stuff. Pretty much, you'll go into the game and earn ability points through doing activities, playing through the story, beating bosses, etc. And that will obviously give you ability points. But the awesome thing is that the game rewards experimentation. So if you jump onto, say, Batgirl after you've played with Red Hood for a bit, you will be able to spend all of the points that you've earned on Red Hood. They will accumulate so you can jump into the same level of progress with Batgirl, which is really cool. It means that you can keep pace with all the other heroes. And I believe they said that all of the story beats also keep up with them as well. I love this feature. It means that you don't have to worry about re-grinding a bunch of characters. You may have to get like the gear up and stuff, but you don't have to go through all of the different play styles from the beginning of the game and, kind of lose all the progress. You get to have a lot of fun with those different heroes. So I'm definitely be doing Red Hood and then jumping onto Nightwing not long after. Each ability tree that there is going to be purposefully designed to be varied in combat. So each of the different heroes will have something that's vastly different. For example, with the Marksman on Red Hood and the Brawler, and then there's a Vengeance tree as well. Knighthood is a tree that is for all the heroes, and it adds some extra special abilities, which we'll talk about in just a moment. There are on the hero, and it's basically a story beat which allows them to become fully realized as their own Dark Knight. And obviously you need to go and complete a story beat to start unlocking this, but each hero will need to complete their own set of objectives to unlock each hero and all these different movement abilities, your ultimate, and more of the momentum abilities. And after a certain point in the story, again, you'll obviously maybe unlock some more. If you complete the Knighthood on one character, that's the story beat, I don't think you need to recomplete them on the other characters, but you will know to go and complete the objectives that they task to unlock the certain abilities. For example, Robin figures out that the Justice League satellite is technology that he can harness to do teleports, thanks to Batman, obviously being able to take the tech that he has learned to help him, which allows him to unlock his movement ability to do short-range teleporting. Momentum abilities are what you unlock from getting the Knighthood aspect. These are special moves that can be assigned to certain buttons and have a full range of effects. I'll go into more detail with the Red Hood ones in just a moment. The cool thing about the momentum abilities as well is that we got to see gameplay of it in the video a couple days ago, essentially allowing you to build up your momentum bar and then spend that when you put in obviously the controller input to be able to do these certain special moves. So we had a lot of different ones that we got to see from Red Hood. And finally, to kind of touch on all these things before we do the full skill breakdown for Red Hood, nearly all of the skill trees can be unlocked in a regular playthrough, but completionists may be able to get all of them, so you can mix and match different styles. And they really encourage the messing around with the gear and then also the skill trees as well. And I'm really interested to see what aspects of the gear game will affect also the skill tree as well, because the skill tree seems very simplistic, but it will also help allow you to make synergies between gear and obviously the skill trees alike. I really like these systems so far, but let's jump into the full skill tree breakdown for the Red Hood. So let's break down Red Hood's skill tree. First of all, we're going to go through the Marksman, then the Brawler, Vengeance, Knighthood, and all of his momentum abilities as well. We're going to do a quick fire just to get through this and just explain them really quickly, which I think is really cool. So we have the Perfect Evade. Red Hood performs a perfectly timed evade that generates momentum and allows for a perfect attack follow-up. We then have the next one, which is Critical Expertise. Increase Red Hood's critical damage by 20%. Then we have Focus Fire. Red Hood can aim longer at a target and deal 4 times more damage. This is very much focused around the ranged abilities, obviously. Every round, the next one is Lucky Rounds. Every round Red Hood shoots has a small chance to deal 5 times the damage. Only applies to range attacks and precision aim, so this is pretty good too. Then we have Precise Strikes. Increases Red Hood's chance of landing a critical hit by 10%. We have Aiming, which is Focus Fire. Aiming time of Focus Fire is reduced by 50%. And then lastly, we have Quick Fire Expert, which is critical chance and critical damage of Red Hood's ranged combo is increased by 15%. So a lot of crit damage and using range abilities there. The Brawler is more grapple focused and going to town with obviously his fists and grapple abilities. So the first one we have is Human Bomb. When Red Hood throws an enemy, he attaches a concussion mine to them, which explodes when shot. You press triangle to shoot the mine. Red Hood can perform grab moves on large enemies, which is obviously large grab. We have Extend Grab Window. Enemies can now be grabbed at 50% health or less. We then have Human Bomb Enhance, which is very much the first one. Increased damage radius. Damage and the radius of concussion mine explosion, so to follow on. We then have Grip Expertise. You can now increase Red Hood's damage when performing a grab move by 10%. Grabbing an enemy prevents Red Hood from being interrupted by most attacks, which is Iron Grip. And then lastly, we have Human Bomb Multiplied. Detonating the concussion mine deploys 6 additional concussion proximity mines on the ground. I like this playstyle. It's really cool. Lastly, we have the Vengeance for the or the specific ones for Red Hood, which is more to do with doing damage to specific enemies. We have Coup De Grace, which is Red Hood or Coup De Grace. Inflicts 10% more damage on enemies with 30% less health, so kind of like a killer ability. We have Freak Justice, which is increases Red Hood's damage by 15% and critical damage by 5% when fighting freaks. Regulator Justice, increase Red Hood's damage by 15% and critical damage by 5% when fighting regulators. Mob Justice, increase Red Hood's damage by 15% and 5% when fighting the mob. Combined Fire, Red Hood and his allies inflict increased damage when focused on a single target. Only applies to range attack combos and precision aim. Unrestricted Fire, after using 2-fisted reload, Red Hood can shoot unlimited rounds for a short period. This is really cool. And then we also have Double Vortex. After using 2-fisted reload, Red Hood shoots double the amount of rounds for a short period. So we get a nice little bit of rapid fire right here. We then move into the Knighthood abilities. This is Red Hood's movement ability, which is the Spirit Platforms. But right here we have every shot that knocks a target out inflicts fear into nearby enemies. So this is a buff or like a debuff to them. You get weak spot damage, which is easy. Increases headshot and weak spot damage by 15%. Grab Dread. Grabbing a target inflicts fear in the nearby enemies. Pretty easy. Combat Mastery increases the number of attacks in Red Hood's range combo attack by 1. The last hit is a knockdown. We have Mystical Round, requires 50% less time to lock onto targets. We got to see that in the previous gameplay the other day. And then Mystical Round shoots 2 rounds instead of 1. So lots of damage there. Let's move into the movement abilities. First of all, we have Barrage, which is a piercing effect. and it costs 1 momentum. Red Hood shoots multiple rounds straight ahead, hitting all enemies in his path. Ammunition is also reloaded. We then have Mystical Punch, which is a 1 momentum. This has a guard break. Red Hood charges his fist with an elemental effect damage, melee attacks to do 50% more damage, and 5 times more elemental build-up. The duration is 30 seconds. We got to see, if an enemy is being shielded, this is going to be pretty good. We have Two-Fisted Reload. Red Hood performs a quick reload while hitting and shooting an enemy. This is good because this combines with that other skill tree that we looked at just a minute ago. That has a momentum cost of 1. We have another momentum cost of 1, which is Harnessed Rage. When activated, Red Hood's next attack increases by a portion of the damage he received. Also, Red Hood heals at 1% per second, generates duration of 20 seconds. This one is fear-inducing, so I like the playstyle there. Get hit, deal damage, and go from there. Spoil Sport Reload, which is 2 momentum. Red Hood jumps backwards, releasing an explosive magazine. Ammunition is also reloaded. This is an area of effect. We have Portable Turret. Red Hood deploys a mini turret that shoots at nearby enemies, dealing high damage. Duration for 6 seconds, damage over time. And we also have a really good ability, which is Mega Tackle, which we have seen in the trailer as well. The gameplay trailer the other day, which was Red Hood dashes forward, knocking down all enemies in his path. Guard break, piercing, partial area of effect, fear-inducing. It's when he does that big green, like a football tackle type deal. And then the last one is obviously Mystical Rounds, which is his ultimate ability. Red Hood locks onto enemies and shoots Mystical Round that will hit all targets, causing massive damage. This is really cool. We got to see them lock onto a bunch of stuff and then go to town there. And obviously, at the moment, this character is level 27 and it has all of these unlocked. So whether or not that means you can have them all unlocked at level 27 compared to if we go all the way back, they're level 30 here and they haven't unlocked everything. So it depends on how high we can get to unlock all of the different skills and stuff. But I like that you can have multiple skills on and make different builds and such. So yeah, let's wrap out the rest of the video. But that pretty much covers it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the breakdown and all of the stuff that we got to see with these skill trees. I'm really excited, and a little bit of news is that the game has gone gold, so it will be coming out in October. The team seem to have worked very, very hard on this, and the developers are, super passionate about the game, and I'm really excited for this, as the game is going to be releasing on the 25th of October in a couple of months time. So I'll be very, very excited when that releases. Expect content on the channel for that. But as always, if this video has been helpful and you've enjoyed all of the news, make sure you like on it, subscribe if you're new, turn on the notification bell, and check out the links in the description to continue the conversation over on Twitch and Discord. But as always, this has been Jimbo, and I'll see you guys next time.